Hi, this is Adam with MovieGuy365, and today I'm going to review the Happytime Murders starring Melissa McCarthy and directed by Brian Henson. First, I just wanted to thank you for checking out my channel, and if you wouldn't mind subscribing, liking, sharing with your friends, that would be very much appreciated. So, Happytime Murders is a movie that's been around the Hollywood scene since about 2008. I do actually remember when they announced this. I'm a big Muppets fan. Anything that Jim Henson ever did is part of my childhood, is part of my upbringing. And I always thought the premise of the Happytime Murders was intriguing, like in a rated R style Muppet movie. And to its credit, we got exactly that. It is it's very funny, but it also shows a little bit of just a lack of real imagination on how this could have been better implemented. It was still fun. It is definitely an R-rated film. They even did previews. You don't want to be taking your kids to this. But I always thought that the trailers were going for gross out. They were red band trailers, and it just kind of showed its hand a little too early, I think, in that department. But what I did like about it, there were a lot of things that were funny with the puppets, and they are called puppets. They don't refer to them as Muppets at all in this. The funniest stuff involved, obviously, the puppets. The people were really the weakest link in this whole movie. Melissa McCarthy, believe it or not, was probably the strongest, and all the human characters just didn't really do much for me. They actually had the most unfunny material, but there were some great gags. It's really something if you like raunchy humor, this has it in spades. But sitting through it, it definitely had a Who Framed Roger Rabbit vibe to it. And you really can't help but think that it could have gotten there. I don't know what could have been done differently, but it's like they focused on the core characters and what they were doing, but you didn't really see the world out there that much. A little bit at the beginning and a little tiny bit sprinkled here and there. But it was very much focused on the main characters. Supposedly puppets are, if you've seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit, you know the cartoons are walk among us. And in that movie, you see that constantly. In Happytime Murders, you don't really see it as much. And I think that kind of bothered me a bit. You have this whole world that's set up, and obviously, society is different because of it, but they don't really show it too much. And I think that was a big mistake. I think they should have, you have this world out there so rich to explore, but okay, we're just going to focus on what's happening within this case. And it's a shame. It's a lost opportunity to me. But that being said, as I mentioned a little earlier, the puppets and the gags were hilarious. There were lots of laughter whenever the story shifted onto that. And a lot of that you see in the trailer, believe it or not, was the least funny moment. You know what I'm talking about, the office scene. It wasn't the best joke. There were some really good ones, especially in the first few minutes of the movie, with the main character and some random puppet that's outside his office. I thought that was a good starting point. It's just a shame it never really built on that as much. It's funny. It's not going to set your world on fire, but it's worth checking out just, as a rental or anything like that. As I said, the human characters, not that great. Melissa McCarthy played his Philip's partner, who's the main puppet. And usually I find her kind of extreme raunchiness to be a little bit annoying. But in this, it didn't go that far, and it played on her strengths, especially a couple scenes, when they're investigating the case. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I forget I'm in a movie kind of thing with her. And also there was a very annoying thing that kept happening, and it happened like 4 times in the theater. In these types of noir detective movies, you always have like the lead like guy in the police department, like a sergeant, lieutenant, captain or something. And it seemed to be happening a lot where the lieutenant would just show up. And it happened within like such quick succession. It's like almost he was like standing off side of the camera and just waiting for him to like have a scene. And then he just comes in and it's like, okay, we get it. That's a trope that I kind of find annoying, and it usually doesn't work for me. But, and then of course you have Joel McHale, who, why was he in this movie? Like, really? It's very, I like Joel McHale. I loved him in Community, The Soup, those kind of things. But in this, it was like obviously collecting a paycheck. So yeah, the Happytime Murders, it had potential. I can imagine there's going to be an unrated cut coming for this, which I will of course check it out. But yeah, so that's pretty much my thoughts on the Happytime Murders. Not terrible. You got Movie Pass and you can actually get a ticket, or you get a matinee or something. Go check it out. It's not going to hurt you. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. So if you like the channel, thank you very much for checking it out. Please tell your friends, like, subscribe, hit that notifications button. Anything you can do will help me out. I want to keep making content. So for Happytime Murders, I give this one a B. So yeah, that's it. So this is Adam from MovieGuy365, and I will see you at the movies.